What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Steady Life Project YouTube channel for yet another picks, preview, and prediction show here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button and subscribe. Back for another UFC predictions video live stream, UFC Fight Night, Nicolau versus Perez. Let's dive into it, starting with the prelims all the way to the main event, followed by the last segment of the stream here, where I provide my degenerate and safe parlays of the week, brought to you by our friend Volkan. And as we get through a chunk of predictions, as we get through a chunk of fights, we will go back to the live chat so we can see your thoughts on them as well. What is up, HM? Salam. Hello. What's up, Joshua? Lisa's in the UFC from One Championship League. Yes, you were telling Jay and I about her on the Rush City fight. So what's up, Joshua? Mikey P is here as well. Good to see you guys. LFA, we will be streaming tonight. And right after this predictions video, my Ryzen 46 predictions video will be available. It's literally uploading to the channel as we speak. I recorded it right before jumping on here. Let's get into it. Keep the comments coming. We'll get back to them as we go through the card here, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be starting the Fight Companion stream weekend tonight as we have LFA followed by Lux Fight League. Let's get to the first fight on this card here. We have Maheshate Haisar against Gabriel Benitez. Now, Benitez taking this fight on relatively short notice. His opponent out of China, 9-3 as a pro. Benitez, veteran of the game, 35 years of age, 23-11 as a pro, but he's only 2-3 in his last 5 fights, and he is coming off a loss to Jim Miller. He had taken this on short notice. It wasn't like he was in camp shape. Haisar looked good upon entering the UFC, has, come back down to earth a little bit here. He is on a 2-fight win streak, but he is pretty young. He's the favorite at minus 235. 4 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 4 decision. Knocked out once, never been submitted. Yeah, came on the scene via Contender Series. Yeah, 1-2 in the UFC. His first fight in the UFC, if I can recall, against Steve Garcia was really good. Yeah, knocked him out. I remember him from this card. But yeah, it goes up against a 14-3 Rafa Garcia. He looked good in the Borshev fight, but Borshev, got the better of him by the midpoint of the second round. He's all right. Came out of Wulin Fang, and he wasn't one of these guys who had an astronomical number on their record of just can crushing. He fought some decent guys upon taking the steps to the UFC. Got on via Contender Series, looked good in his first fight, but I think there's a lot of potential still there, which is why I am picking him to win. Still very young, still training, still learning a lot. He's well-rounded too. He's not just like a pure striker. He actually has some okay grappling. Now, hasn't been tested against some of the best in UFC. Obviously not, but it's not bad at all. And he was supposed to fight Jubilee on this one. So I got to imagine my live chat on Saturday, we're going to have some Where's Jubilee. We're going to have some Where's Jubilee for sure. Benitez is good, but definitely past his prime. His recent record is meh. 9 KO TKOs, 10 submission, 4 decision in total. Oh, come on, Tapology. 7-7 in the UFC. 6-1 in UWC. Yeah, lost to Jim Miller. Jim Miller looked awesome in that one. Beat Charlie Ontiveros, but Ontiveros not really that good. Lost to Onama. Onama's good. Lost to Billy Quarantillo. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
I just have not been impressed by his performance as of late. And not to say that this guy blows me away either, but I'm going with the prospect on this one. All right, let's get to the next fight here. Ivana Petrovic against Na Liang. Man, Tapology's really tripping out here today. I hope they fix the bugs on the site because I still like. I don't want to go back to Sherdog, bro. I don't want to go back to Sherdog. Don't make me go back to Sherdog. Ivana Petrovic 6-1 as a pro against Na Liang 19-7. Na Liang is the pretty big underdog here at plus 380. She's on a 3-fight losing streak, 2-3 her last 5 up against again the 6-1 gal who got her only loss in her last fight against Luana Carolina. Now everyone keeps telling me Luana Carolina is good. Luana Carolina is awful. Okay, Luana Carolina is awful. Holy fuck, Matt X. What the hell, bro? As we interrupt this programming, we'll round up $14, bro. Are you kidding me? Dude, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the donation here. Did not expect that on a friggin' UFC prediction stream. Bro, we're going to be streaming more tonight as well. We got LFA, and we'll probably do some Lux. Dude, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. Wow, did not expect that, but big shout out to Matt X, my man. Appreciate you, dude. You are far too kind. Wow. What a way to start this predictions video. Wow, thank you, buddy. And we'll get to the rest of your guys' comments here after we go through the next fight, okay? Ivana Petrovic, she's out of Croatia. She's the heavy favorite on this one. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just not a fan of Carolina. I don't know what people see in her. 29 years of age, 3 KO, 2 KO, 2 submissions, 1 decision, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. 0-1 in UFC, but 4-0 in Aris. And again, like Aris is for Aris being so young, it is a good developmental league. Now, has it fallen off a little bit with some of the talent going elsewhere for this particular year? Sure. But she's been in the UFC for this particular year. So we good. So other than that unanimous decision loss to Luana Carolina, who again, I don't think is anything special, but a bunch of other prediction videos that I watched were like praising her. Whatever. It was a step up in competition regardless, but she beat a 7-1 gal in Aris, and she's actually pretty damn good. Before then, didn't really have a great win on her resume, but beat a 2-0 gal when she was 4-0 and beat a 2-0 gal when she was 2-0. I'm not going to rip on her that much. She doesn't have a lot of experience yet. Na Liang has a lot of experience despite being the underdog here. She's 27 too. She's younger, has more fighting experience, but yeah, just not as strong in my opinion. Just a little bit, just not as much muscle, a little bit smaller. Maybe could fight a weight class below. 6 KO, 2 KO, 11 submissions though. 11 submissions, but when she goes up against a gal who's taller than her and who's just more muscular and bigger, throw the jiu-jitsu out the window in mixed martial arts in the UFC. 0 decisions. That is fucking sweet about her though. She has 2 disqualification wins, no decision victories, 11 submissions, 6 KO, TKO. So when she wins in some sort of fashion, whether it's fancy or eye rolling. But yeah, when she goes up against bigger gals, I mean, she's got nothing. She's got nothing. 0-3 in the UFC, 0-1 in Bellator. That's the thing. And it's not like she went up against great competition in the UFC. She got finished in all 3 of her UFC fights, and she came from Wulin Fang, yeah, where she absolutely crushed cans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going with Ivana Petrovic. Bigger, stronger. She's okay. 3 KOs. She's got some power to those punches. Her opponent keeps getting finished, like I said. Opponent's not great, despite being only 27. I do think Na Liang maybe should drop down to 115. We'll see. Anyways, don't really care at the end of the day. Ivana Petrovic. We'll get back to you guys' comments right after this next matchup. And again, big shout out to Matt X for the $13 donation. TR Clips, what's going on? HM, I still see you. Main card minute. Joshua, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Oh my goodness, man. What a card we have here. What a card. Honestly, despite Chris Padilla taking this fight on short notice, because, oops, as I get off the page here, as the Peruvian fighter was supposed, man, Tapology is glitching the fuck out today. Too many pop-up ads now. Come on, boys. You're supposed to fight, yeah, Lando Venata and freaking Gabe Green. That's crazy, man. So this is his 3rd opponent. Chris Padilla taking this fight on short notice since he was the 3rd option now. And like, he's fine. He's an okay regional fighter, but he's been fighting in friggin', we'll get to it here in a second. Promotion that like I don't even really watch, and I watch a lot of regional MMA. James Leontop, though, he's sick. He's sick. 24 years of age, tough as nails out of Peru. 14-2 as a pro, and he's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. 7 KO, 2 KO, 1 submission, 6 decision, won his final contender series, and was 10-0 undefeated in FFC. Now, I personally like Inca a little bit more than FFC, but FFC is a very good promotion as well. I know a lot of people are saying he didn't deserve his contract upon fighting Malik Lewis. I think he did. That was an awesome fucking fight. And before then, you know, wasn't crushing cans. 20-9 guy with experience. Okay, 19-16, not a good record. 20-11, not the greatest record, but 5-0, 6-2 respectively when he's at 9-2 and 8-2. I like those matchups. And he was finishing these motherfuckers as well. Now, Chris Padilla, Taco Chris Padilla, on a 3-fight win streak, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He actually has some pretty good striking. 7 KO, TKO, 4 submission, 2 decision. His fought in Bellator, lost, but 6-0 in XFC, Explode Fight Series. Never heard of it, bro. That's the thing. And then 3-1 in Up Next Fighting. Never heard of it, bro. That's what I'm saying. Beat a 16-9 guy. Okay, that's not bad. 15-11. You know what? Like, it's not the worst. Going up against guys who actually don't have the worst record. But yeah, okay, now 17-10. I'm scared to see what this guy's is at now. Yeah, he gets another loss as well. So that's just the thing. This guy's fought better competition. This guy fought in more brutal leagues, in my opinion, as far as regionals go. Especially FFC. So we're going with the huge favorite on this one in Goku, the on top out of Peru. What else do I have on him here? Yeah, supposed to fight Gabe Green and Lando Venata. 12-fight win streak. Impressive scrap on Dana White Contender Series. 7 KO TKOs. And Chris Padilla has been finished 3 times in his pro MMA career. All right, let me bring the next one up on screen, but we'll get back to your guys' comments here as well. Again, reminder that we are going to be covering the LFA main card. And now, if the prelims are still on, maybe I start a little early, but we shall see. I don't want to make sure that we get that Ryzen preview up right after this, as well as it's currently, literally, as I speak, ladies and gentlemen, it is being uploaded to the channel. All right, back to the comments we go. Again, big shout out to Matt X, man. What an absolute beauty. LFA tonight. Can't wait. I don't want to see either of them fight in the UFC again, to be perfectly honest. I saw Jim versus Gabriel, but he lost to Jim. I think Diaz Tony fight is a troll. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Yes, big shout out to Matt X again, man. Absolute beauty. Shout out to HM for being an exclusive member as well. What's up, Isha? You doing a whole FA event tonight? I'm doing as much of it as I can. I like it after this predictions video. If the prelims are on YouTube, I'll do them. I just had a friend and someone who covers regional MMA tell me that the prelims aren't going to be on tonight or aren't being broadcasted anymore. But yeah, I'll probably do a couple of the fights before the main card. What's up, main card minute? Good to see you, buddy. You're going to go see AEW wrestling and WWE SmackDown later. I got to go see wrestling. I'll see you tomorrow. You're going to stream tomorrow. Yes, we will be streaming all day tomorrow, buddy. We'll be streaming all day tomorrow. When's the next Loma fight? And I ain't talking Shenko. I'm talking Loma Lukbumi. Dude, I really love that former Muay Thai, now MMA fighter. She's sick. She's fun to watch. She should have a fight coming up soon. She fought a few months ago. Should I didn't know that? Let's freaking go. Again, Matt X, you're an absolute beauty, buddy. Thank you so much. All right. Like I said, after a chunk of each, or after going over a chunk of these fights, we go back to your guys' comments. So let me know your opinions as well. And by the way, guys, Vancouver Canucks playing tonight. Go Canucks, baby. We lost our starting goalie. We're still better than the friggin' Nashville Predators. Let's go. Next fight here. Huh. Oh, yes. Yeah, we have another fight here. Ketlen Souza, who actually is pretty good. She's pretty good. Against Marnic Man, the sawed-off savage. That's a damn good moniker, but, like, it's this chick that has it. Right? 6-2 as a pro. She's 3-2 in her last 5 fights. Lost her last fight. She's a pretty big underdog at plus 300. She's 31 years of age. Up against a 28-year-old Brazilian who's 13-4. 4-1 in her last 5. She did lose her last fight to Karine Silva, who's also on this card and who's an absolute savage, by the way, like a legit female UFC prospect who, you know, could be fighting for a title sooner than later. Let's take a look at Souza here. She is the favorite. 8 KO TKO, 1 submission, 4 decision. I think she's never lost decision, which is a little concerning. She's been knocked out twice and submitted twice. 2-0 in Invicta, 0-1 in the UFC. And like, what a tough fight upon entering the UFC against Karine Silva. Before then, beat 2 okay gals in Invicta. Good win in SFT. And then just kind of crushed a bunch of cans on the regional scene. Marnic Man, 6-2, like I said. 3 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 2 decisions. Not bad. 3-0 in LFA. Lost on Contender Series and lost her first UFC fight. Yeah, she lost to Knudsen, who's undefeated. Like, that's not, like, no shame in that. Lost to Bruno Brazil. Oh, yeah, that's who Bruno Brazil head kicked on Contender Series, which, by the way, I have a reaction to that Contender Series episode because despite Bruno Brazil actually landing a beautiful knockout there, we've kind of seen that Bruno Brazil is not that great. Honestly, she beat some decent girls on LFA. 4-1 gal when she was 3-0 and went 4-0 as an amateur. Not a bad resume, but Ketlen Souza, she's just better, okay? Locking in. She's locking it in. She's just better minus, what is she now? 380. She's 345 when I did my research for this predictions video. Her last loss was to a decent gal. 8 freaking KOs. Crushed cans before Invicta and SFT, but actually beat some decent girls in SFT and Invicta. Marnic Man.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Not really impressed with her on the regionals or really her last 5 fights. I don't think she's UFC worthy at all. So we're going Ketlen Souza. What is up, Sean? Yes, we're doing LFA right after this, buddy. All right. Next, we have Dontel Mays against Caio Machado. Caio Machado out of my favorite Canadian promotion, BFL. However, I didn't think he even deserved to make the UFC after his fight on BFL. But anyways, here he is. So I'm rooting for him, but am I picking him? That's the real question. Am I picking him here? Bigfoot Caio Machado, 8-2-1 as a pro. This is pretty even because Dontel Mays also sucks. 8-2 as a pro for Machado. 10-6 for Dontel Mays. It's near even. Slight favorite for the 29-year-old Brazilian out of Vancouver, British Columbia, up against the 32-year-old out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let's take a look at Machado. Like I said, had developed and was a champion in a Battlefield Fight League out of British Columbia, Canada. In my opinion, Unified MMA and Battlefield Fight League are the 2 best Canadian MMA promotions right now. They fluctuate on which like ones are better because they used to do shows like every 3 months or so. 4 KO TKOs, has never been knocked out. 2 submissions, never been submitted. 2 decisions, lost in only 2 fights via decision. I have no idea how he got a contract on the UFC from his performance on Contender Series, but probably because heavyweight's just that thin and they need some prospects that they're rolling the dice will develop, at least in the UFC climbing the heavyweight rankings, because fighting low-level heavyweights in the UFC is pretty much like fighting heavyweights on the regional scene, kind of, as Machado fought some pretty bad heavyweights on the regional scene. Some people, by the way, do make the argument that he did beat Mick Parkin, but like this was not a fun heavyweight fight. This was a clinch fest up against the cage. He did beat an 11-1 guy in Contender Series, but it was just such a boring fight from both of them, bro. From both of them. Like, sure, he won it, but it wasn't a good fight. Beat an 11-7 guy on BFL via armbar in the first round. That was a good win, but again, 11-7, not the greatest guy. 11-15, like, are you kidding me? 5-1 when he was 4-1, fine, that's a good win. 2-1 when he was 2-1, fine. I'll take it. And his only loss other than to Mick Parkin came to a 4-0 guy when he took a step up in competition in BFL. I mean, it's awesome that we have this Brazilian who is training out of Vancouver, British Columbia. I have a lot of pride in that, as I want to see MMA grow in Canada, especially my neck of the woods in BC, where I'm from. But like I said, I root for him, but it's hard to because I'm just not a fan of him. But like Dontel Mays ain't great either, bro. He ain't great either. 2-1 freaking no contest due to freaking Hamdi pissing hot. Hamdi 3-0. Like, that's how thin the fucking heavyweight division is in the UFC. It's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing. Jackson and Wink guy, 4 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 3 decisions, 1 disqualification loss, 3-4-1 in the UFC, 2-1 in Contender Series. Not 1, not 2, but 3 times he fought in Contender Series and 1-0 in LFA. Lost to Nascimento, who ain't great either. And that Nascimento will be fighting Derek Lewis soon coming up. Beat Andrei Arlovsky. He actually knocked out Andrei Arlovsky. And even at this age, I mean, Andrei Arlovsky, not an easy old fart to knock out. Beat Josh Parisian, whatever. Beat Martinez, whatever. Lost to Nascimento twice. Lost to Cyril Gahn. I've never thought he was good. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Dontel Mays is a good fighter. As an underdog, sure, maybe he wins a decision. But, fuck, who am I even going to pick on this one? Oh, yeah. I flipped a coin. I'm not going to lie. I flipped a coin, and it landed on the favorite. We're going to Bigfoot, Kai Machado. They're both so bad. Neither of them have impressed me. Dontel Mays had a bad loss in his last fight. Machado is a volume striker more than a power puncher. Dontel Mays does have some power behind his strikes, though. Lost a close fight in his last fight. That was Kai Machado, to essentially just a clinch battle. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just move on to the next one. Who cares? Kai Machado. That's my pick. What a card here. What a card. All right. Moving up to to another fight that we're just dying to watch here, ladies and gentlemen. Austen Hubbard against Michael Figlak. Now, I am excited to see Figlak again. I'm not going to lie. So there is that. So let's be a little, glass half full over here. Don't really care about ever watching Austen Hubbard again, but if Michael Figlak, needs a stepping stone, it could be like a name in Austen Hubbard. I say name because, he was on Tough, right? People know who he is because of a couple UFC runs in Tough now, right? Right? In all seriousness, Michael Figlak, 8-1 as a pro. Yeah, he suffered his first loss against Fares Ziam in the UFC in his debut. If I'm not mistaken. Sorry about that, guys. Against Austen Hubbard, my bad. 32 years of age, 15-7 as a pro, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Let's just take a look at him. He's a slight underdog at plus 145. He's out of a good camp, though. Elevation Fight Team, 4 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 8 decisions, 3-5 in the UFC, and 2-0 in LFA. Lost to Kurt Hollebach at UFC 292 in the finals of the Ultimate Fighter. Made easy work of the guys who got cut from the UFC and or some prospects like fucking Aaron McKenzie. And Roosevelt Roberts, was just never that good. Anyways. He was fighting Julian Lane in ex-MMA, guys, upon being cut from the UFC, right? Cut from the UFC, fought Julian Lane in a 5-0 guy, and then got his shot back on Contender Series. So, he's fine. He's fine. He's he's a decent guy on the regional scene. He's probably better than most on the regional scene. He's mostly the favorite on the regional scene in the UFC. He's probably going to lose more times than not. And he's going up against a prospect, so I don't mind the matchup here. Out of Poland, Mad Dog Michael Figlak. Like I said, his last loss was in his UFC debut. 4 KO, TKO, 0 submissions, 4 decisions, never been knocked out, never been submitted. Was 6-0 in Cage Warriors. And he was fighting good guys in Cage Warriors. I mean, look at this shit. When he's 2-0, goes up against a 3-0 guy. Then a 4-3, 5-3, 6-1, 7-2, 15-3. That's what you want to see in a fighter's development, ladies and gentlemen. He had a sick amateur career as well, going 10-2 as an amateur, fighting some decent guys. His last fight as an amateur, going up against a guy who was 11-3. I'm going Michael Figlak on this one. I mean, Ziam is way better than Hubbard. So, I mean, there's just a little MMA math too. And he went the distance with him, right? Distance with him? Yes, distance with him. Ziam had a recent knockout too, so that's why I got it mixed up. I was like, I don't think he knocked out this Polish guy. Great regional career, good power, pocket striker. Hubbard, I mean, too many chances, bro. Too many chances. He's fine, not great. And Figlak took the Ziam fight on, I think it was only like 2 weeks notice, 2 or 3 weeks notice. So it was relatively short notice. He trains out of the same gym as Leon Edwards and crew, Team Renegade. Yeah, he's young as well. I like him. We're going Michael Figlak. What's up, Degenerate Dane? I see you in the live chat as well. Okay, we're going to go over this last prelim, then I'll get back to the comments. Okay, guys? Really appreciate you guys joining. Then we'll get to LFA after this. Come on, Tabology. All right, next fight we have here, 7th on this card. Victor Henry against Rani Yahya. Yes, Rani Yahya is still fighting in the UFC. 39 years of age, 28, 11, and 1. He is 2-2-1 in his last 5 fights. He is the pretty big underdog at plus 325 up against a massive favorite at Victor Henry. The line has moved a little bit because yesterday Victor Henry was minus 500. 36 out of LA, 23-6-0. His balls got absolutely destroyed by one of the Bashaw brothers in his last fight. Before then, had a good win against Tony Gravely. Lost to Sunsao, but Sunsao, he still had it. A year and 6 months ago, he still had it. Good win against Ronnie Barcelos, who's a hard guy to beat. And in Lights Out, he beat a 10-7 guy, whatever. 6 KO TKOs, 8 submissions. Never been knocked out, never been submitted. 2-1-1 in the UFC. Fought twice in Ryzen. Fought in Deep. Man, I love Victor Henry. Fought in Pancrase. He's fought everywhere. Bama. He's a guy I always love to root for. And fought some decent guys on the regional scene as well. Like fought Kyler Phillips on the regional scene. Beat him split decision. I like it. And again, Rani Yahya, maybe back in the day we say beat Victor Henry, but not today. Not today. No KO TKOs, 21 submissions, which, hey man, it's impressive. 7 decisions, 13-5-1 in the UFC. He's been in the UFC since 2011. He fought in the WEC before that, and also fought 5 times in K1 where he went 3-2. He hasn't fought since early 2023. Fight fell through late in 2023. Lost to Montel Jackson, got knocked out early. Had 2 cancel bouts against Cody Garbrandt. One against, again, 2 whatever guys, or one went to decision and then one he submitted. Lost to Ricky Simone, Joe Soto. I don't know. Look at the guys he's beating. I guess this guy, 12-2, and you got Luke Sanders in a heel hook. That's not bad. But that was back in 2017, bro. That was back in 2017. Look, it's awesome the amount of submissions that Yahya has, but he's too old. And Victor Henry's he's still humming at 36, and I actually think that he is solid. So I'm picking him to win. Easy favorite. Let's go. All right, back to the comments we go. I'm just going to load up the first fight on the main card here. Which Austen Lane is on a main card in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? All right. Let's get to your guys' comments here. Who did I miss? Hell yeah, Sean. Hell yeah. Good to see you, buddy. Don't tell the MD. What's up, MMA Locksmith? Good to see you. Machado gonna have trouble with the height. Yeah, because Machado's usually taller than everybody as well, and he's like 2 inches shorter than Dontel Mays. Tom, what's up, Hoggy from home? Good to see you. Isha, don't Don't tell me he's gonna win this fight. Don't mind my typing. What's up, Void Mate? Yo, time to the LFA prelim start right now, buddy. Right now. Hubbard's gonna win it, dude. Heisha, your chat's messing up. Are you not playing? I have to reboot real fast. Degenerate Dino was arrested in Peoria in 1992. Jeez. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yes, we are doing Knucklemania tomorrow. What's up, Game and Slap? They should be on YouTube. If they're not on YouTube, I have no idea, bro. Because I was hearing some whispers that they're not even being shown on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Matt R? Good to see you, buddy. Matt Riddle, what's up? What's up? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, let's continue. Let's continue on here. We got Jhonata Diniz against Austen Lane. Now, Austen Lane, he's been knocking some dudes out on the regional scene, okay? But I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it in the UFC, bro. I don't see it in the UFC. I mean, Tafa knocked him out. And as much as I root for the Tafas, like, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? You poke the guy in the eye, then you lose to him after. You know how he's going to fight. You know how he's going to fight. You take a deep dive into his resume, though, and it looks pretty damn good on paper. Just watch some of the fights, though. It's just, I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is. I'm just not impressed by his performance. 11 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 0 decision. I should be, but I just haven't been. I'm not going to lie. Any fights that have actually gone a little long, I've just been like, He does have knockout power. He doesn't have the quickest hands. He has the range. If he utilizes his jab to set up those big shots, he is 100% dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. 100% dangerous. I mean, look at all these first round knockouts here, and they're not against bad guys. Now, have a lot of these guys gone on to become anything special? Not really. But I don't know. I was rooting for Tafa, but I thought he was gonna beat Tafa, dude. I thought he was gonna beat Tafa, and Tafa made it look relatively easy. I don't know. Unproven in MMA is this talented glory kickboxer who's 32 years of age, minus 330, undefeated. Again, Austen Lane, he's got that power, but he might have to use MMA. He might have to use goddamn wrestling. He might have to employ some takedowns, some clinch work, some MMA clinch work here, none of that kickboxing clinch work if he wants to get the better of his opponent here. Because if he wants to go just straight up MMA striking, toe-to-toe, Diniz will knock him out. He will, dude. He's the better striker. 6 straight knockouts. Mind you, crushing quite a bit of cans here. As you can see, 7-1, the guy in the UFC, Eduardo Neves, that was his best win. But as you can see, he does have an impressive kickboxing record. And this isn't even all of it. These are just some of the guys that he's knocked out. ACB kickboxing as well as glory in some of the United States shows as well. I don't know. I think I don't like Austen Lane. Well, actually, I mean, from a betting perspective, this actually ain't bad. Plus 260. I might have to drop a little some on that just because. But I do think the odds should be closer given that, like, he has way more MMA experience. Okay, he actually fought in a pretty good regional show in Fury against pretty good guys. I don't even want to say pretty good guys, but guys with pretty good records, okay? Guys who were crushing other cans before, fighting each other, which are good matchups. I don't want to try to sound too biased. I don't know what it is. I just haven't been impressed. Now, if he knocks out Diniz, then it's like, okay, let's go. I don't necessarily think that he has anything but striking, so I think Austen Lane's path to victory is employing mixed martial arts. Do I trust him to do that? Absolutely not. I'm going with Diniz on this one. Let's get to the next one. Insane kickboxer, still new to MMA. Lane doesn't wrestle much. He likes to stand. Each have good reach. Yeah, I don't know. Lane does Lane has beaten some good guys on the regional, but I just think Diniz is way too quick of a striker. Yeah, going with Diniz. Sorry, I skipped a couple here. Topology was tripping out, and that's probably the first one I saw. Anyways, we'll get back to your guys' comments here in a sec. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us here tonight. All right, Tim Means against Uros Medic. Now, Tim Means did have a good fight in his last showing. It was awesome. Against Andre Fialho, who has had an up and down UFC run. Tim Means definitely got like the most bruised and battered version of Andre Fialho. But it was still a great performance by Tim Means nonetheless. 40 years of age, plus 245. He is the underdog, 33 wins, 15 losses, 1 draw or no contest, and he's 2-3 in his last 5 fights up against Uros Medic. I love the doctor. 9-2 as a pro, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. 31 years of age, out of Serbia, but fighting out of Alaska, bro. Lost to a very talented prospect in the UFC, or rolled by. Was on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC before that, though, taking out Matthew Selmsberger and Omar Morales, 2 pretty good guys. He's minus 300. He's a pretty big favorite here as well. 7 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 0 decisions. That's what we like to see. 3-2 in the UFC. Want to know of Contender Series? Like I said, lost to a very, very good prospect in the UFC. Beat 2 pretty good guys. Lost to Jalen Turner. No shame in that. Beating 3 guys, 7-1 in his UFC debut and in Contender Series. And what a UFC debut it was with that flying knee. Now, Alaska FC ain't a great promotion. You only really fought one good guy there. All right, the Dirty Bird. Tim Means, ladies and gentlemen. 40 years of age, 20 KO TKOs, 5 submissions, 8 decisions, 15, 12, and 1 in the UFC. 12, 1-1 in King of the freaking Cage, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, great win against Andre Fialho in his last fight. Finished the fight in the 3rd round after piecing him up. Before then, though, lost to Alex Morono, who submitted him. Lost to Max Griffin, lost to Kevin Holland, which, no shame. He was a close decision against Max Griffin. Kevin Holland's good. Beat Nicholas Dalby, which, honestly, that's a really good win in hindsight, even though it's 2021, as Nicholas Dalby still ripping it up. Beat Mike Perry, Starpoli. Starpoli's actually still doing pretty good. Wins over Thiago Alves, but that's, 2019. He's just at the end of his career, man. Tim Means, still fun to root for. Still shows up every now and then, but I just think Uros Medic is probably going to get this done. Probably good scrappy first round, but eventually either late in the 2nd round or 3rd round will land the TKO. Neither of them are going to put on a wrestling clinic. Neither of them are going to try to win this fight via grappling. It's going to be a striking affair, and Uros Medic will get this one done. All right. Jonathan Pearce against David Onama. Yeah, sorry, I skipped these 2. Before. This one honestly should be a really good fight as well. After this, we'll get back to your guys' comments. David Onama, the silent assassin, up against JSP, Jonathan Pearce. Jonathan Pearce, 14-5 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He did lose his last fight. He is a favorite at minus 150. Man, David Onama, that's a damn good underdog. Cha-ching. 31 years of age out of Phoenix, Arizona. Pretty damn good resume. He's out of fight ready. 9 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 3 decisions. I like that. 5-2 in the UFC, and he also came off Contender Series. Lost to Joe Anderson Brito, who is very, very good. Before then was on a hell of a win streak, 5-fight win streak, where he beat some pretty good guys. Kai Kamaka, Omar Morales, Christian Rodriguez. Okay, Amir Kwani sucks. And Darren Elkins. I mean, Darren Elkins is a tough son of a bitch, but Darren Elkins in 2022 ain't the greatest. Omar Morales, yeah, he's pretty good. Kai Kamaka, he's fine. He's fine. I mean, I know he got a win over last weekend in the PFL. He's fine. He's on the special region. Joe Lozon beat him in 2019. But As of late, like in the last couple years, Christian Rodriguez is his only really good win. Darren Elkins, again, old. Amir Khani's losing in friggin' Octagon now. But losing Jonas and Brito, no shame in that. Look, a 5-fight win streak, that was a 5-fight win streak, so credit to him. But David Onama's good. 11-2 as a pro. 3-2 in his last 5 fights, coming off a win. A nice, beautiful KO TKO to a prospect in Gabriel Santos. He's only 29 years of age as well. Never been knocked out, never been submitted. Oh, his win's coming by finish, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you want to see. 7 KO TKOs, 4 submissions, 3-2 in the UFC, 5-0 in the Farce League. I mean FAC, Fighting Alliance Championship, and 3-0 in Kansas City. Fighting Alliance was less of a Farce League as FAC. Nonetheless, he beat Gabriel Santos, who Gabriel Santos is a nasty motherfucker. Lost to Nate the Train, but man, that was a fun fight. And some people argue that Onama did win that fight. Good win in Garrett Armfield, who we've seen is a very good fighter still in the UFC. And Gabriel Benitez, who, I mean, he's still fighting. Lost to Mason Jones. Mason Jones 10-1. No shame in that either. And before then, coming into the UFC, he was on a massive win streak. What is this? 2, 4, 6, 8-fight win streak where he finished everyone. Now, it is a farce of a league, but there were some decent opponents that he fought in that one. I love Onama as the underdog here. I am picking him to win, and I'm dropping a little something on him to win as well. I think he's the way better striker. He hits harder. His last win was huge. Pearce's last good win was Rodriguez 2 fights ago. And Rodriguez just didn't even look good in that fight either. Far from the Rodriguez that we see today, even though he didn't really look that good in his last fight either, let's be perfectly honest. Pearce does have decent grappling, better grappling than Onama. But Onama, even in his last 2 losses, looked good. And the Mason Jones fight was on short notice. So we're going David Onama. Okay, let me tee up the next one, which we already did. It's the one after that, and then I'll get back to your guys' comments here. Again, big shout out to you guys who are joining. Oh, come on, Tapology. What is going on? Too many pop-ups, and I have freaking ad block on as well. They got past ad block again. They're desperate, bro. They're desperate. Honestly, this isn't even a bad women's fight either. I don't want to go as far as to say I'm excited for it, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. All right, let's get back to the comments here. What's up, Idaho? Good to see you, buddy. What time do you think LFA will end tonight? The main card is at 8 my time. It's probably like 2.5 hours, only like 10:30ish. 10:30ish my time, so 11:30 Eastern. How's it going, buddy? How are you feeling, by the way? Hope the wisdom teeth being pulled. Hope you're recovering from that. Disturbing piece of mutual combat. Missed weight by 3 pounds. Oi, give the like a 12-6. What's up, Western Mass Climber? Yeah, damn Degenerate was there at the Civic Center on 420, bro. Nice, dude. Nice. Again, appreciate you guys watching. Let me know your picks as well. You feeling all right? Well, that's good. That's good. Again, wishing you a quick recovery. Hopefully by, like Saturday, Sunday, you're good as new. All right. I like this women matchup, guys. I like this women's matchup. We got Karine Silva, the killer, which is a great name for her, against Ariane Lipski, the queen of violence, who, man, her last 3 fights have been awesome. But she absolutely destroyed Casey O'Neill. That was a near murder. Ariane Lipski, 17-8 as a pro, 4-1 in her last 5 fights on a 3-fight win streak, 30 years of age. You're watching the NFL draft as well, but I'm ready to watch your show at LFA. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Like I said, right after this, I'm going to get my Ryzen prediction video up because I've already filmed it, edited it. It's literally uploading as we speak. I'm going to get that up, and then we'll jump on for LFA. She trains at the King's MMA, 6 KO, 2 KOs, 4 submissions, 7 decisions. Never been submitted. 6-5 in the UFC, 5-0 undefeated in KSW. Absolutely near murdered Casey O'Neill. Had a great fight against Melissa Gatto and had a good one-sided affair against JJ Aldrich as well. Lost to Priscilla Cachoeira, which you don't want to lose to Priscilla Cachoeira, but she's a weight bully, and fuck her. Lost to Mandy Bowman. Mandy Bowman's fine. Mandy Bowman was 7-0 at that time. Just Ariane Lipski is just not that consistent. Where Karine Silva went through some ups and downs, went through some losses, and has been on an absolute tear ever since. She is the favorite, as she should be. Minus 165-0 in her last 5 fights. 3-0 in the UFC, 1-0 of Contender Series. She's absolutely ripped through her competition. Absolutely destroyed Moroz, absolutely destroyed Ketlen Souza, absolutely destroyed Poliana Botello. And she absolutely destroyed the gal that she fought on Contender Series, who was damn good, 22-3. On the regional scene, too, she's actually fought some decent gals, 12-7, 8-1. And, oh, yeah, she freaking put them out in the first round as well. She is a scary, scary fighter for this division, for the flyweight division, and she is my pick, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Lipski's not a bad underdog at plus 135 because, hey, it's women's MMA. But I think Karine Silva is stronger. She's got that killer instinct. 6 out of her last 7 wins were first round finishes, and 1 of them was a second round finish. Okay, so 6 out of her last 7 wins were first round finishes. The one that wasn't was a second round finish. Yeah, Lipski hasn't beat as good competition recently as Karine Silva has as well. Dominant submission queen. She's fucking sick to watch. All right, common event of the evening, and after we get through these last 2 guys, we will get back to your comments here. Then I will go over my safe and degenerate parlay of the week. All right, Ryan Spann against Bogdan Guskov. Now, Guskov has a very weird striking style. He likes to keep his hands down. I don't want to say like Bobby Green, but I mean, that's just the first example that comes to mind. But like weird, more like Yuri Prohaska, where it's like less karate and more drunken monkey. You know what I'm saying? Drunken master Jackie Chan style. Bogdan Guskov, 15-3. And yeah, 15-3 in his pro MMA career. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Lost his UFC debut to Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan Ozdemir is still legit. Like, is he title contender? Is he a guy who still thinks he's going to win the title? Probably not. But like, he's definitely that guy right at the top that you got to get through at light heavyweight, and he's still proven that. Knocked out Zach Puega, but Zach Puega, man. It's weird because, like, technically Zach Puega doesn't look that bad, and he actually was looking pretty good against Guskov until he gets hit with a big one and gets knocked out, and that's the story of Zach Puega. Ryan Spann, I don't know, man. Ryan Spann, I mean, he's knocked a few guys out, but I have never really been a fan of Ryan Spann. He's not that quick. He doesn't throw enough volume for how long he is, and for him being more of a striking guy. Sure, his clinch work works. I don't know. For being 6'5" at light heavyweight, you'd think you'd use... He doesn't have the biggest reach for being 6'5", but still, you'd think you'd use that frame a little bit better. He's the favorite, though, I think, as he should be. He is the more established UFC fighter. He's 21-9-0, 2-3 in his last 5 fights on a 2-fight losing streak, though, is Superman Ryan Spann. Out of 4 to his MMA, 6 KO, TKOs, 12 submission, underrated 12 submissions. 3 decisions, 7-4 in the UFC, 3-1 in LFA, and 1-1 off Contender Series. Lost to Anthony Smith, split decision. Lost to Krylov. Krylov's really damn good. Beat Dominic Reyes, beat Ion Kutalaba. Anthony Smith beat him in 2021 as well. Beat Shakunov. Lost to Johnny Walker, Sam Alvey. I don't know. I've just never been really impressed with Ryan Spann, and he's fine. He's a mid-level light heavyweight. What else do you want me to say? Guskov, 31 years of age. Not necessarily a prospect. He's a guy who kind of has to like show us now, like, are you legit? Are you going to be better than those of Ryan Spann? So I do like this matchup because of that. It's like, okay, if you can beat Ryan Spann and actually look good in the fight, okay, we have someone who's raising our eyebrows, someone who we can get excited about rising the rankings in light heavyweight. But if Ryan Spann beats you, man, like, you get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of the UFC. You know what I'm saying? He does leave himself open to shots, but he does have wicked power when he connects. He's out of Uzbekistan, but he fights out of Russia. 13 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 0 decisions. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. 1-1 in the UFC, 3-0 in MMA series, but has crushed a lot of cans, ladies and gentlemen. 7-2 guy, not bad, but then 4-1 guy. Then 20-10 guy, which isn't bad. Then, you know, gets a little overzealous against Volkan Ozdemir. 10-2, fighting 5-2 guys. I just don't like that, man. 13-3, that's good. 6-4, 13-9. I mean, I'll take it. 6-4, like I'll take it. 7-8, no. You know what I'm saying? No. I don't know. Ryan Spann is just so basic that I'm gonna go with Guskov. As a guy who's harder to prepare for. Guskov, not as tall as him. Doesn't have the range. Guskov probably used to having a little bit of a size advantage over some guys in the light heavyweight division. So Spann definitely has the range advantage. But Guskov definitely has more unorthodox striking. He has pretty good speed, even though he keeps his hands low. He definitely has power. Spann is slower, and despite the range, doesn't have the same power. Ozdemir is so much better than Spann, in my opinion. So just like don't get overzealous against him, and you'll be fine. Hopefully it looks better than in the Pauga fight, even though he beat him. Pauga actually landed some big shots and was able to get shots through with that weird style that Guskov possesses. But we're going Guskov as an underdog, plus 145. Before we get back to your comments, guys, and keep them coming, smash that like button too. We're going to be doing LFA here later tonight. Let's get to the main event. Matheus Nicolau against Alex Perez. Yes, Alex Perez is fighting, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but Alex Perez is actually fighting. Nicolau is supposed to fight Manel Cap. And to be honest, Nicolau he's damn good, man. 31 years of age, just like he's in his prime. 19-3-1. And if you take a deep dive into his resume, it's fucking impressive, man. But let's start with Alex Perez. 24-8. 2-3 in his last 5 fights, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's 32 years of age, and he is the underdog at plus 150. 5 KO TKO, 7 submissions, 12 decisions. He's been submitted 5 times. 6-4 in the UFC, and he came off Contender Series. Earlier Contender Series guy, coming off Contender Series in 2017. Look at all these canceled bouts, bro. Oh my God, he has more canceled bouts since 2020 than fights. So since his loss to Davison Figueiredo at the end of 2020, he's had 10 canceled bouts and only 2 fights and 1 grappling match. Wow. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. Sorry, I got distracted there. He lost his last fight to Muhammad Mokaev, who, though he's undefeated, I mean, he's nothing special. He's like good everywhere, excels a little bit more in grappling. Yeah, you got to beat Mokaev, Perez. You got to beat Mokaev. Fought Pantoja in 2022. Pantoja beat him. Pantoja the champ. He's really, really good. Tried to fight Machinel 3 times. Tried to fight Askarov twice. Lost to Figueiredo. No shame in that. And before then, pretty much fought 3 nobodies. I mean, Mark De La Rosa said it was 11-1 at the time, which is pretty good, but whatever. Matheus Nicolau, on the other hand, he's a guy who I'm excited to continue to see fight in the UFC. I always get excited to watch him, though he doesn't necessarily like put his opponents out in crazy fashion every fight. 5 KO TKOs, 5 submissions, 9 decisions. His only 3 losses have been knockouts. KO TKOs, which is a little concerning, but he's never been submitted and he's never lost a decision. Knows how to win in the UFC. 7-2 in the UFC, 3-0-1 in Brazil fight, and 3-0 in Chuto, Brazil. We're supposed to fight Manel Cap twice now again, as he actually has a win over Manel Cap when the Manel Cap came over from Ryzen. Dude, look at the names he has on his resume. Yeah, lost to Brandon Royval. Royval had a sick fucking knockout there. Matt Schnell, who, like, for the glass chin that Matt Schnell has, like, Matt Schnell's fine. Like, he's a good fighter. He's actually put on some good fights. He's nothing special, but he's not bad. He made easy work of him too, so whatever. Got past match now. David Dvorak, pretty damn good, 20-3 fighter. Tim Elliott, record aside, Tim Elliott's still good, still humming, still a hard test for anybody. I mean, pretty much almost beat Mikhaev. And then Manel Cap, upon Manel Cap leaving Ryzen as a champ. I've always been impressed with Nicolau. He's been in the UFC twice now. I don't know if he was cut or he left after in 2018, but went to Future FC and Brave and fought two really good opponents, a 13-4 guy in Brave and a 10-3 guy in Future FC, and he's just been humming in the UFC ever since. I got Nicolau winning this one, man. He's durable. Nicolau's hard to finish. Great resume. You know, wins over Kopp, Dvorak, Elliott. Came back to the UFC after fighting 2 great fights and 2 good promotions. Perez is taking this fight on relatively short notice as well, and he's nothing special. So many canceled fights, so many injuries. Way easier to finish, but if not, Nicolau knows how to win fights, so Nicolau is going to win this one. That is it for my picks and predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get back to your comments here, and then LFA and possibly Lux too, which I think Lux will still be on once LFA is over. Let's get to our safe and degenerate parlay of the week. Let's start with the safe parlay. We got Matheus Nicolau, Victor Henry, and James Leontop. Degenerate parlay of the week. Gabriel Benitez, Tim Means, and Marnic frickin' man, ladies and gentlemen. It's called the degenerate parlay for a reason. All right, let's get to your guys' comments here. Mikey P, what's up, Mikey P? Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Underdog picks, Dontel Mays, Austen Lane, Onama. Onama, I love. Possible upsets, Tim Means, Bogdan, Guskov. I like Guskov to win too. Degenerate parlay, Tim Means, Guskov, Austen Lane at plus 2,900, 870 or 87. My goodness. Underdog parlay, Austen Lane, David Onama at plus 692. Safe parlay, Nicolau Henry, Figlak at plus 196. Ooh, that's a very good safe parlay. I like that a lot, actually. I should have put Figlak on the safe parlay, to be honest. Onama, Austen Lane, Nicolau, plus 2,245, amazing value, and my favorite. That is amazing value indeed. Take notes, everybody. Take notes. Picks Onama and Lane at plus 692. Add Nicolau for plus 1,100. And when Lane and Onama win, hedge Perez money line. It's supposed to be on LFA's YouTube channel, UFC Fight Pass YouTube channel, or LFA Brazil YouTube channel. I will check here in a moment, my friend. Yes, featured prelims. Thank you so much, Main Card Minute. Hope to see you tomorrow, man. For those prop bettors, there's a phenomenal over 1.5 lines. Mae shot fight over 1.5 minus 170. Padilla fight over 1.5 minus 150. Diniz / Lane over 1.5 plus 200. Silva Lipski over 1.5 minus 170. Guskov fight over 1.5. Dude, thank you so much for sharing all this with us, Mikey P, as you do every single week. Plus 210. Na Liang over 1.5. Fight minus 130. Medic / Means over 1.5 minus 140. Pick any combination and parlay the crap out of that. Diniz Lane at plus 200. Parlayed with Guskov. Spann plus 210 over 1.5 is crazy value.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
Thank you again, Mikey P. Appreciate you. Yo, what's up, JK? It's good to see you, buddy. Shout out to my boy Afrim Jashari. Please, my G. Shout out to Afrim. Guskov, the European Anthony Smith, is going to beat Ryan Spann brains in. Bog, you sure? I'm sorry, but Perez is going to win. Oh, you sure Perez is going to win? Okay, I don't know if Perez is going to win. Marnic, man, that is hella degenerate, baby. Let's go, degenerate. As degenerate as they get. Yeah, they're live on YouTube right now. Okay, sweet. Well, give me a few minutes to post the Ryzen predictions video, as it literally is finished uploading, but I was uploading it as I was streaming here. I am going to do that. I'm going to grab a cold one, and then we'll jump on a little earlier than when I expected, because I was going to jump on in an hour and a half, but I'll jump on soon here for a little LFA prelims and hang out with you guys for a bit. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this picks and predictions video. We'll be back for LFA in about we'll say 15 to 20 minutes. We'll say 15 to 20 minutes, and I will adjust the time on the stream as well. What's up in the granite? Good to see you. What's Papanisha? Violent fan. Yeah, we'll be live for LFA soon, brother. We'll be live for LFA soon, brother. In the granite doing great work as well on his channel, guys. Go check him out. That's it for this prediction video. Literally right now, ladies and gentlemen, keep refreshing as I will be posting my 30-minute Ryzen best bets preview and predictions video. I post a Ryzen one every time there's a Ryzen card, Ryzen 46. Then right after that's posted, we will be streaming LFA. Smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you folks in like 20 minutes for LFA. Peace.
In the fiercest battle